Hey everyone, welcome back to Toy Foolery, and today we're checking out Namor from Hasbro. Hopefully he's worth the money. I don't know. I just wanted the Void Build-A-Figure, and I still got a couple of pieces to go. Stay tuned to find out if this toy is worth the money. So here we have Namor. This is the last figure that I need to finish my Void Build-A-Figure. Second to last, actually. I'm still waiting for Vision to come down in price. But let's see if this Namor is worthy of going on the shelf. But before we do that, let's see if this box is better than your mom.
This box better than the box he was held in.
So on the front, we have a clear view of Namor in the back. Then we have one panel on the side, which makes him look very ominous. And it's a very weird look for him. His hair kind of blends into his forehead. And same picture on the other side. And then we have a different picture on the back. So kudos to Hasbro for giving us two photos of Namor. And we have a little blurb about him. He is Marvel's first mutant. And yes, he's not that in the MCU, but he is a mutant in the comics. So that's cool that they mentioned that in the blurb. And the box is not so bad. Normally I would complain about it, but we get two pieces of artwork. Not the greatest box, but it's actually pretty good for Hasbro. Has more shelf appeal than other boxes, especially because I love the way this side panel looks. And it's probably from the same comic or same artist that did the Namorita that I reviewed. So this is actually really decent. But let's crack this boy open and find out.
Oh, what's in the box?
So in the box, we get Namor. We get the Void's arms. That's the Void's arms. We get his hands in two separate trays because Namor came in a tray with his with the hands and the arms, and when the arms came in with his trident. And speaking of, we get this great looking trident from Namor. Great looking trident from Namor. And we get some hands. We get two fists and some flying swimming hands for him. Two sets of fists. And Mills would not have charged you for this. This is actually a really good set of accessories. I think my only gripe is, and it's not with this set, is that the inconsistency in giving accessories to people is astounding from Marvel. Like, I don't understand how some characters get awesome accessories like Namor, and then other characters don't get anything. Mills wouldn't have shot you good amount of accessories for him. Not the greatest amount of accessories, but they gave you two holding hands, two fists, and two swimming hands. And they gave you his trident. He's not a waterbender. He doesn't do any things like that. So can't ask for anything else. But let's check out this toy and see how he stacks up. Namor actually looks really cool. I like the design all over his body. He's fairly simple, unpainted upper torso, some, I guess, scaly underwear, and then some black pants. But it's done so well that you can't complain about how simplistic it is. I think we're only going to have a problem when it comes to articulation, when it comes to his head. But let's get really close up on some of these details. And let's do a... And as you can see here, there's some really good detail in Namor's face. They did a really good job on the eyes and how the eyes look. And if you go a little bit further down, you can see that they did a lot of good detail in the muscles. Not a lot of striations in it, but he does look well defined. Then when we get down to his lower torso, we see that there's really good detail in the shell itself. And I guess that's the symbol for Atlantis. That seems a little weird, but that's fine. So we get some detail in the shell itself. That's really cool. And then the scales make it very unique and make it pop. And then my favorite part about this toy is the detail in the boot. If you look at the boot, it has these really nice details in the boot. And Let's zoom in and refocus on it. So you can see there is a lot of fine detail put into the boot that make it pop. The same detail that is put into the armband, same detail put into the armband. You see his spins on the back of him. It's actually really cool looking, and I do appreciate it. There's actually a really good amount of detail. Yeah, there's really a lot of good detail into this toy. I think the only things that I wish they had was the blue wash that was in the photo that was on the box. Actually gives Namor a really good, unique look, and a little disappointing that it's not there. But other than that, really good design on this toy. I really do like the arm braces, and the shin guards look really phenomenal, and this Namor actually has a really good design. But let's see how he stacks up to the only other Namor I have in my collection. I'm not going to compare him to the MCU one, but let's back out and see. And here's Namor and Namor. So two things that you'll notice is that, one, the old Namor is clothed and he has a little bit more intricacy in his clothing. But the one thing that does pop about this Namor is that the underwear is actually textured. So it's actually a 3D feel, 3D look to it. The same thing with his arm guards. There's texture to it, so that it's actually different than this Namor. And I do actually appreciate it. Now, if they re-release Namor, would I like him to have kind of this 3D texture to his underwear and his cloth? Absolutely, because it looks good. But for what it was great at the time. Let's see how their wings stack up. Different shape wings. Actually, no, they might be the same exact wings for both of them. So, you gotta get some reuse somewhere, I guess.
A few moments later.
So that makes me wonder if their feet are the same foot and they just put a brace over it. Plausible, and then they change the feet peg on him so that he has different feet. All that's plausible, because how many winged feet characters do you have? But those are the same exact wings. Now it makes me wonder if the Namorita has the same exact feet too, or at least the same exact shins. Un momento. And the answer is no. Namorita actually has her own unique, very large winged feet. So I wonder why they decided to reuse the same winged feet for this Namor versus getting some new winged feet, or even using the Namorita ankle. Well, I guess they couldn't, because it would be awkward to have such a small shin on such a big figure. So now that we checked out his design, let's see if this guy can squat. Namor is able to lift up his arms fairly decent. Does not have a butterfly joint, but can get his arm up just about 90, just a little bit. Can we force a little bit more? No, we cannot. So he can go 90, swivel in the upper bicep, double jointed elbows. He has rotation in his wrists. They put a swivel, but it's limited by his arm brace. Upper thigh cut, double jointed knee, swivel in the foot. Does he have a boot swivel? He does, but it's also limited by the guard. And can he squat? He should be able to. He has all the necessary articulation that you would need. Double jointed knees, double jointed elbows, swivel in the upper bicep, and he is getting into a fairly decent squat position. The question is, can he get into a superhero landing? And I'm going to say no, because he only has a upper torso rocker instead of a ball point. So he'll be able to bend down and he'll be able to get that knee into it. But he is going to be limited about how far his reach is. Hasbro could solve this problem with 90% of the toy. After seeing the Carnage figure, I realized that to make up for the fact that they don't have the ball joint in the upper torso and they don't have a ball in the waist, if they actually go and decide to do butterfly joints for most of them, it will kind of extend the way the body moves and gives it a little bit more room. But this is a decent landing, not quite superhero pose landing, but close enough. And the only other sticking point for Namor that I have for articulation is his head is limited by his hair. He can look down that much, which is not much at all, and is limited by the hair in the front. He can look up basically not at all because he's limited by the hair in the back, and he can't look really much left to right because he's limited by the hair in the back. So while you'll be able to get him into some really cool poses, he is going to be limited with his head movement because of his hair. Let's talk money. Namor is going for 25 bucks. I got him while he was on sale on Hasbro on clearance, and I got him for $17. Is he worth $17? Absolutely. Is he worth replacing your old Namor? Depends on your preference of style for Namor. I really do like this figure. I actually like him better than the other figure that we have on the shelf, just because of the accoutrements that are adorning him. He looks a little bit better, even though he has a limited articulation because of his head. He still actually has some pretty decent articulation, so not too bad for 18 bucks. Let's wrap this guy up and give him his final score. So let's wrap up Namor. The box was pretty decent. It had 2 photos, and what else can I ask for from Hasbro? As for the design, I'm not a fan of the design on this Namor, but it does look like the comic book photo that they gave. As for his ability to squat, it's a little bit limited, but it does have some decent range. Not the worst, but definitely not the best. And as for money, I got this guy at a discount, but his normal price is 25 bucks. If you can get him for $17, it's definitely a steal. And for my final score, I'm going to give Namor a 5 out of 8. Not a great toy, but definitely not the worst. And he looks pretty decent, and it's a great tag along for the Namorita toy. No! Oh! I'll catch you in the next toy review. Peace.